What's going on, everybody? Fitposium people. My name's Regan Rogerson, and let me be the first to welcome you to my virtual presentation, which is how to grow and expand your YouTube presence. Toyed around with different names for this, but essentially what this presentation is going to be is an 8-step formula, which is going to show you how to take a YouTube channel, whether it's an existing one that's dormant or a brand new channel, build it, populate it, and grow it into not only a money-making presence on YouTube, but also something that you can use to create other streams of income, whether it be virtual training, one-on-one, online training, all of those things. So that's what we're doing here today. I'm gonna try and keep this as conversational as possible, which is hard to do when I'm speaking to a camera and not actually able to talk to you guys. But certainly during this presentation, take notes if you'd like, and you can always reach out to me. My info is gonna be somewhere in here at the first or the back, scrolling across the screen right now, where you can reach out to me if you have more specific questions, because quite honestly, this presentation is probably about 3 hours worth of content put into 45. So we're gonna go through it, but I'm gonna try and be as detailed as possible. So first and foremost, I think it's kind of important to give you a little bit of my background, just so you know where I'm coming from and what gives me the right to give any advice on anything at all. So I've been working in fitness now for about 20 plus years. I've been a personal trainer. I've owned 2 health clubs. My education is in journalism. I've managed to take these 2 things and kind of morph them into what I do today, which is 208 Media Inc., which is a digital agency based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So in terms of health and fitness videos, I started back in 2004. I was actually still in school at the time. I was selling home gyms for a company working retail, and we were going up against the Bowflex. And essentially what happened was the Bowflex was making a lot of waves through their television advertising, their infomercials, and they had a DVD that they sold with the gym that basically said 100 plus exercises with this gym. My company did not carry the Bowflex, and we came up against it a lot. So I come up with an idea about possibly shooting a video because I had some camera skills through my journalism program in school. My boss was not interested in this. I still kind of was interested in this. So I went out and did it on my own with minimum money, not a lot of money at all, to be honest. And the production value was good and clean, but it was not over the top in terms of production. To fast forward a little bit, this video ended up getting picked up by the company whose gym I used, and for 14 years I received royalty checks on this video. It was to the tune of 40 cents every time they made a copy of my DVD, and $1 every time they sold a gym, because my DVD was in the box. So that would be, the pre-digital streaming age of royalties and making money with fitness videos. That got me started. After that, I went out and I did a much grander fitness video series with a much bigger budget. It didn't do nearly as well. So I reverted back to my roots, which was doing these, clean, tidy, basic videos. I turned a little single car garage at my house into a small studio. I started producing videos in the studio, and the same thing happened again, where I managed to secure a deal with a green coffee bean company to buy anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 DVDs a month off of me. Obviously at wholesale prices, but you can do the math on that and realize that there's some pretty good money being made there. So I continued this practice for several years, just producing mass quantities of DVDs and selling them and doing licensing deals. And I did quite well for that. And I would say that in the country of Canada, as far as independent distributors goes, I was probably number 1, if not in the top 3 or 4. So I continued to do this for several years and did quite well with that. Licensing deals, direct sales, wholesales to businesses, selling DVDs. It was great until around 2015, where it started to dip. And this was around the time where DVDs were starting to go out of style a little bit. At that point in time, I took an entry-level job with a supplement company. Within about a year, I was creative director with that company, and I was able to work with fairly large budgets, shooting a lot of big commercials and some pretty cool stuff. But one thing I learned during that time was a lot of the ins and outs of how these big companies, particularly in sports nutrition, how they look for and what they look for when it comes to brand ambassadors and influencers and people like this. So eventually I left that position because I wanted to launch my own agency. I did that, and as kind of a little side project, I started with YouTube. YouTube was becoming a much bigger thing. I was starting to understand it. And so I started developing fitness content for YouTube. Thankfully, I had my channel up and running pretty good by the time a pandemic hit, which you guys may have heard of, and my channel exploded during the pandemic. I was able to capitalize on that, and between that and also the knowledge I picked up with doing brand deals and what these companies are willing to pay, what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, I was able to secure 3 strong brand deals for my channel, and made in the area of about $6,000 a month just off brand deals with a channel that at that time had around 10,000 subscribers. Now it's about at 20,000 subscribers. So that's one of the key things here is a lot of people feel that to make money on YouTube, you're looking at 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, and even those people don't make money, and you hear a lot about that. But when you start to understand the business side of YouTube and the business of fitness and how you're able to create a platform that attracts big sponsors, not people giving away free proteins and little things like that, but the big sponsors, it's a whole different ball game. And that's basically what we're doing here today. That's what we're going to discuss, and let's get started. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 8 pillars to help you design a channel that can make you in excess of $100,000 a year as an independent freelance personal trainer. That's what we're going for here. Depending on what you're doing, whether you specialize in personal training or you're trying to promote a gym or a product or any of those things, you can use these pillars to set up things the way you want it set up, and because everybody's got kind of a different end game, which we will get into. But for now, that's kind of what we're going to use as our template, is a goal of $100,000 a year as a freelance personal trainer, doing your own thing, making nice money, and taking names. So first and foremost, let me go over the 8 pillars, and then we're going to review each one with a little more detail. So number 1 is build the channel. Number 2, populate. Number 3, conversion. Number 4, products and services. Number 5, affiliate marketing. Number 6, collaborations. Number 7, Google income. And number 8 is brand sponsorships. So that's it. Those are the 8 key pillars that I always recommend people work with. And to be honest, that is the order in which you're going to execute these things as well. So let's start off at number 1, building your channel. Before you post your first video, it's very important to figure out who exactly you are and are going to be on YouTube. And what that requires is typically reverse engineering the process. This is not about posting videos, getting subscribers and fans, and then deciding how to monetize it later. This is about knowing exactly where you want to end up and reverse engineering the process so that the content you're producing is going to funnel you to that end game. And that could be one or all of a number of things. And we're gonna get into a lot of that stuff later with affiliate marketing and stuff. So that's very important. If you're a personal trainer and you want to build a membership site or maybe do online one-on-one training with people, and that's kind of your goal, then that's a great goal to have, and that could be your premier, like that is my main idea where I feel I'm gonna make the most money, because it's your products and services is where you're gonna make your most money, by the way. It's not gonna be Google, which we'll get into. So with that said, you've reverse engineered the process. You know what you eventually would like to do in a perfect world. I want to be the world's best online one-on-one digital trainer. That's what I'm gonna do. When it comes to the channel itself, now you have to decide how you're going to not only get to that end game, but also niche down so that you're talking to somebody. You cannot be the channel for everybody. And what happens when you start to try and do that and you offer too many different genres of things and grocery hauls and nutrition plans and smoothie recipes and workouts, and you end up catering to nobody, and people aren't going to understand who you are or what you are. To give you an example, I've got 2 channels right now. I've got Trainer Hub, which is my workout channel. And what makes my channel special, the workouts there's a variety of workouts and a variety of instructors. But what makes my channel special is there's no music, and there's no talking. It's ambient sound and it's raw training. All the audio cues and all that stuff is in there in the workouts. However, the channel was designed to emulate a real workout in a real gym type space that you can do from the comfort of home. And I will be honest with you, 50% of the comments I get hate my channel. They don't understand it, nobody's talking. They're not big on that. But the people who like my channel, they love my channel. And I have received emails from people saying, please don't ever add music, please don't change anything. Your channel is so great, there's nothing like it. And that is the audience I'm catering to. And I know I'm not for everybody, so I'll take the good with the bad because my channel grows. It grows nicely every single day, and it continues to grow because there's a huge audience for people who like that style of workout. Jump over to my other channel, which is Fitness Marketing Hub, which is kind of what I'm doing here today. That channel is basically marketing hacks and tips for personal trainers trying to grow fitness channels on YouTube. Now, there are people on YouTube doing all kinds of great stuff when it comes to marketing YouTube channels. I could be removing all the fitness elements for mine and trying to go after that broader audience of every business and every type of creator, but then I get pulled in with all of those guys, and those guys are doing a great job, and I get lost in the shuffle. What happens with this channel is that because I'm so specific to fitness channels, I am definitely niching down in terms of my audience, but guess what? That niche little audience is huge. You got to remember, there is 2 billion people on YouTube. If I get a fraction of a percent, I'm getting hundreds of thousands of people on my channel. So my channel started to finally grow about 6 months into starting it, the Fitness Marketing Hub channel. And one of the big reasons why it started to grow is the YouTube algorithm understands who I am. Once it understands who I am, it knows who to present my channel to. So because my videos were all of the same subject, which is growing a fitness channel on YouTube, the algorithm understands that anybody who's looking for these types of search topics, this is the channel to go to. So instead of coming up on page 10 with search results, I'm coming up on page 1. And the people that find me, and you can go to this channel and look at the comments, they're beside themselves with happiness. They're like, I've been looking for this channel. I can't believe I finally found it. This channel is a godsend. This is not because my channel is so amazing, even though I think it is. It's because it's exactly what they were looking for. I have positioned that channel so that the people looking for me have found me, so the people finding me are the perfect customers for me and the perfect subscribers, rather than somebody finding who's not interested. So this is what happens when you start jumping around too much in terms of your content. If you're jumping too many different styles of workouts, and just a lot of different things, and this is what, people get into the little diary stuff sometimes. It seems like a good thing, adding personal content. This is what happened to me. This is how I lost weight. But what happens is you start making the channel about yourself. You lose the audience because they, especially in the early goings, because they don't know you and they don't really care about you, unfortunately. But most importantly, the algorithm has a tough time understanding who you are, and therefore they present your content randomly to people, and it's not the right audience. And not only will they not subscribe, but they might click on your video out of curiosity, watch it for 5 seconds, this isn't for me, turn it off. That brings down your average watch time. Your average watch time goes down on your videos, and then it tells this algorithm that the video can't be good, so we shouldn't surface it too much because people obviously don't like it. So this is how that works. Your channel will not grow and prosper based on views and likes. It's going to grow and prosper based on watch time and finding the right audience, and that's what we're here for. So we're still on Build a Channel, and we've gone over the niche, we've gone over the reverse engineer process. Now let's come down to the aesthetics of your channel. Now, if you're starting out from scratch, and we'll just pretend that you are, or what have you, maybe you've had your channel there for a while, but it's very important later to have a channel that is a very polished looking brand, because ultimately the majority of your money, and I can speak from experience on this with my own channel, is going to come from brand sponsorships, and brand sponsors are going to look at your aesthetics. A lot of these people are not fitness people, they are corporate people, and they're looking at your brand for the overall visual quality of it. They want to associate themselves with winners. And this is something that's completely under your control. You know, having a channel that is just aesthetically pleasing, that has a certain color palette and things match up, it looks good, it looks professional, and it's very important to do, whether you do it yourself or whether you get on Fiverr or one of those things and have somebody assist you with that. Very important, not something to overlook. Channel name. Personally speaking, I would avoid using your personal name on your channel and use something that is a searchable term. You know, Fitness Marketing Hub was initially called Regan Rogerson, and guess what? Nobody looked up Regan Rogerson. But what happens once I changed it to Fitness Marketing Hub, people that did find the channel, you can tell right from the title that this obviously has something to do with marketing fitness, but I don't know what. I'm going to click through to find out. That's what we want to do here. So it could be something as simple. You can rebrand at a different date, or you can still brand it the way you want with you know, your banner on your channel. But for the actual channel name, make it a searchable term. Whether that name be associated with the equipment you're using or the length of your workouts or whatever, there's a million different things you can do. It could be workouts for beginners. Using something like that will help you elevate in search results is very important if you don't have a lot of subscribers, because you're going to be found a little bit easier, and you can always change that back later. Now, going into your actual channel, your channel banner, don't get too clever with this. Again, you know, you can put a photo of yourself on there, or it could be a screenshot of a workout or something. Make sure the imagery is high quality. Make sure the colors are nice and vibrant. Make sure the text is all very legible and pops off screen. Understanding how colors go together. Like if you have a red background, don't use blue text, because like certain things just don't mesh very well and they don't pop very well and people don't see it as well. But making sure it's just a nice polished looking cover which very plainly tells people what this channel is. Because keep in mind, they may have found your channel, clicked on your channel. You want the channel name to ultimately tell them what you are, and they understand before they even click on a video. If that didn't work, we want the channel banner. You know, a couple bullet points as to what you are and where the value is to them and what makes you special. That should be on there. You know, workouts for everyone is not something that's going to draw in anybody, because everybody says that. You know, really think about your niche. Make sure that is incorporated into your actual branding. So the last thing when it comes to building the channel, it's going to be your production quality. I am not an advocate for expensive cameras and crazy amounts of gear. I know a lot of you are doing this as more of a side project in hopes that it might build into something bigger. I do think there is at times a slight investment that may come up. That could be, but I also know people that are shooting with their smartphones who are having a lot of success. The cameras in a smartphone is pretty incredible. It can be done. But understanding how to properly use light, understanding how to find a location that, even if it's in your house, at least it can be clean and tidy. You know, there are elements that are under your control. You know, if you go outside, understanding how to set up your shot and kind of play with the sun as natural light, but make sure it's not shining in your face. Make sure it's not behind you, casting a shadow. All these little things are well under your control and are important to look at. So don't skimp on the production quality. I would rather personally see my clients do one really good quality workout every week than to do 4 really crappy, low quality, messy, rushed looking videos and workouts. So keep that in mind. It's you know, your audio, having a microphone so people can hear you. It may not seem that important to you. Like, you might be very heavily focused on the workout, but there are millions and millions of workouts on YouTube. And if you want to separate yourself from the pack, paying attention to the quality of the production is equally and probably more important than the workout itself. I hate to say that to you fitness people out there, but you yourself know that there are people on YouTube right now who aren't all that talented of trainers, and they have massive followings. And a lot of it comes down to a really polished looking channel, and they're young and they're cute, and they've got the bull by the horn, so to speak. So pay attention to this stuff, take care of what you can, work with what you got, and then fill in any little gaps where you can. Good, strong audio, you want them to hear you well. Find a location that's neat and tidy if it's indoors. You know, if you're outdoors, make sure you're using the sun, doing it at the right time of day, stuff like that. So now that our channel is set up, that brings us to number 2, which is populate the channel. This is how I recommend you do that. As quickly as possible, without sacrificing quality, get 15 or 16 videos up on your channel. What that's going to do is be the difference between a couple videos and a whole lot of dead airspace on your channel and having a fully populated channel, which just gives you that color and vibrancy and everything's the matching aesthetics. That shows your channel is basically up and running. And until that happens, I find it very difficult to start getting subscribers. So I would recommend trying to get your first 15 or 16 workouts out of the way in about the first 6 weeks or so. Once you're up and running, you're populated, and again, we're trying to fast track this process to get you monetized and rolling. So again, once that's up and going and you've populated the channel, you can slow it down, and you can slow it down to as little as 1 workout a week. My channel grew, and I've mentioned already the income that it brought in through sponsorships. On average, less than a video a week is what I was producing. I produced good quality videos, but I did not mass produce every week. I just did 1 good video a week and kept building on it from there, and that worked for me. Once you're up and going and populated, you can do as little as 1 workout a week and make it a good one. And what that 1 workout a week will do after the fact is it shows that your channel is not only populated, but it's live. And what I mean by that is if somebody checks out your channel, they can see that you're posting once a week. That is reason for them to subscribe. They're like, this person is consistent. When they start to see you haven't posted in a month, you haven't posted in 6 weeks, 2 months, they start to think the channel is dormant. And even if they like the workouts that are on there, they're less likely to subscribe because it doesn't seem like anything new is happening on your channel. But if there's 1 workout a week going up, you're good. You're good, and they can see that things are happening. And you've got the rest of the variety there from that mass push you put on at the start. So at that point, your channel is up and running and aesthetically matches and the page is full. And right then and there, you're at a point where you can showcase this to people and be very proud of it because it looks like a big time channel. A couple of ways that I recommend that you, if you're looking for more content, something we're gonna get into later is when it comes to getting your channel monetized with Google, there's 2 pieces of criteria. There's 4,000 watch hours in the span of 365 days and 1,000 subscribers. So again, we are gonna get into that in more detail later, but something that I recommend you can do if you're balancing this again with other jobs, training people on the side, whatever else you're doing, doing things like tutorials are a very easy way to get some additional videos up there without sacrificing quality and without losing a lot of time. Because for some of you who are editing for the first time, it can take you a little bit of time to edit a video. Tutorials are very easy. You put a bumper on each end and you talk into the camera and you do a 3-4 minute, here's how to do this exercise. And you can focus on exercises that are in your workouts. So great way to get some extra watch time and to get some extra content. And you just basically put that in a playlist. Here's a bunch of tutorials and how-tos. They're also a great way to get found. One of the biggest videos I've ever produced was a simple, primitive video on how to do a trap bar deadlift, and it still, to this day, is page 1 on Google, top of page. So you can imagine the kind of traffic that one tutorial has driven to my page. So that's the power of a tutorial and what it can do for you, because a lot of times people will look for stuff like that. How to do a trap bar deadlift. Trap bar deadlift form, things like that. So, and there's a million different exercises that you can demonstrate, and great way to funnel traffic in your channel, and easy to do. Another thing that I recommend, if it works within your niche, again, we don't want to be plastering a whole bunch of different styles into your channel, but live streaming, depending on what your channel is going to be. Live streaming is a great way to build your community and it's also great for watch time. I do live streams every week on my Fitness Marketing Hub channel, and I will get anywhere from 50 to 150 hours of watch time in the first 24 hours. Now live streams, they do tend to dip down after a day or two because they're only really big when they are live, but still a great way to amp up your watch time because again, in addition to building this from a quality perspective, we are also trying to do this as quickly as possible. So live streams and tutorials are two additional things. If they fit your niche, if they fit your plan for what you're doing, great ways to save a lot of time in editing and keep that watch time moving really quick and get to know your community. So that brings us to number 3, which is conversion. And number 3 and number 4, they do kind of work together, which is conversion and also products and services. Conversion is essentially the next step once you start developing a community. When it comes to creating content, I always use the rule of thumb where there's 3 types of videos. There's discovery content, there's community content, and then there's sales content. For me personally, I tend to put my sales content and my community content together. And what I mean by that is discovery content are the kind of videos that help you get found. 6-pack abs in 30 days, workouts to lose belly fat. As trainers, we know that it's, you don't spot train body parts. You know a lot of this stuff, but the average beginner to intermediate user of YouTube, they don't understand a lot of that. And you're never gonna be able to teach them if you can't get them on your channel. So not talking about clickbait here. I'm talking about doing the more popular style of workouts and things that bring them in. To give you an example of that, yoga for beginners would be a great example of discovery content. Yoga for core strength would be a good example of discovery content. Community content would be something like yoga for neck pain or yoga for hip and lower back pain. You're getting a little more specific now, which is definitely niching down even more, but your community is going to be more interested in that. So the hope is that discovery content helps people find you, and of those people that find you, our hope is that they subscribe to you. Once they subscribe, they become more a part of your community. That's when they're obviously somewhat invested in you and your channel. They're there now. So being able to add some of these more specific videos that focuses on more precise stuff, that would be more discovery content. With my channel, again, I always go back and use examples just because I feel like it helps. I do a lot of kettlebell stuff, and that is definitely the biggest pusher of traffic to my channel. That would be a great example of discovery content. But it's also my community content because I have a lot of kettlebell enthusiasts who stick around that channel. But a better example of community content would be sandbag videos. I do a bunch of sandbag videos. They don't do as well as kettlebell videos, but they get a lot of watch time. The average view duration is higher than most of my other videos. And there is a core community within the community of sandbag enthusiasts who are very much diehards of the channel. They can't find a lot of sandbag videos. They stick around. They've bought sandbags through my affiliate marketing tags and things like that. So that's a great example of using a secondary genre of training to make money, because I make more money off sandbag videos in terms of overall income than I do off of kettlebell videos, which I have no sponsors or any affiliate links that have to do with kettlebells. So perfect example would be that. For the Fitness Marketing Hub channel, which again, this is not a workout channel, this is based on marketing, but discovery content there would be something along the lines of how to shoot a workout video with your smartphone, or 5 reasons your YouTube channel won't grow. That would be discovery content. Community content to me is my live stream, because in my live stream, I'm communicating back and forth. It's a conversation with the community, which is great for that particular purpose. Additionally, there is a rapport being built, and there is a trust that's being built. It's one thing to see me on camera talking and ranting and raving about things to do with fitness videos, but when you're actually able to ask me questions and hear me in a more conversational tone, you feel like you know me a little better, and that does help psychologically build that trust which is important if you have products and services that you eventually would like to offer people. So in terms of conversion, this goes back to your reverse engineer process you did in step one. If your goal is to convert people doing your videos into people who want to train with you directly in a more of a one-on-one personal thing, that could be it. Maybe if you're focused on your own community or the city you live in, it could be getting people into the gym and training with them that way. So you start with things that are simple, and it could be as simple as a nutrition program. If you're not a nutritionist, maybe you work alongside a nutritionist and you put together a little program that you sell for $20 or $30 and you split the profits with this person. Or, the other added bonus for the nutritionist would be that you give all their information that if somebody wants something more specific to their needs, they can contact this nutritionist. You're generating leads for that person, so it's a win-win. Another great one that's very simple to do is creating a PDF document that is a 30-day program showing them how to use the workouts that you've already produced for your channel. If you're a few months in, you've got 15 or 20 workouts on there, you'd be surprised, and I know that this happens because I've seen it happen. Somebody will find a workout on your channel and they like it so much, they'll do that workout every day, the same workout, because they like it, they can get through it, they feel confident doing it, and they don't realize, things like muscle recovery and stuff like that. And they could be being more counterproductive than productive in terms of their health and wellness needs. So creating a very simple template. Here's a 30-day program, what workouts that are already on my channel and how to do them. This is something you could throw it out for like $10, they could buy it for. So whatever it is you decide to utilize, whether it be smaller things or larger scale things for your conversion and basically converting your community members into paying customers, those choices are up to you, but this can start very early on. The first month that I started doing products and services with Fitness Marketing Hub, I had 150 subscribers as mentioned, and I made $3,000 in the first month. So it doesn't require a lot of people, because if you're getting the right people and they're very, very much being impacted by the niche that you've chosen, that's 150 strong leads that I had, not 150 random people. And that's a big difference between setting up your YouTube properly and things like Instagram, where there's just random people following you and unfollowing you all the time. You work hard to niche down to get quality subscribers, and by about 150 subscribers, you can very easily start offering products, services, whatever you want to do. Because you've got 150 people that will trust you, and picture yourself as a physical business with 150 clients coming in one day. It's very powerful when you look at it in those terms. Doesn't seem like a lot of subscribers for social media. YouTube is not social media. It is a monetizable platform, and we're starting with 150 subscribers. So that basically is number 3 and number 4 kind of gelled together. That brings us to number 5, which is affiliate marketing. This is something you can also start at relatively the same time, which is that 150 to 200 subscriber mark. Affiliate marketing in general is not going to generate a lot of money for you. I'll be totally honest. It's worth doing because what happens is all these little things that you tap into, it's not a lot of money, it's not a lot of money, it's not a lot of money, not a lot of money, but collectively they become a little bit of money over time. And that, again, that grows over time. So just because it doesn't make you a lot of money at 200 subscribers, what if you have 20, 30,000 subscribers in 2 or 3 years? It could start generating some good income. These are things like Amazon affiliate program. If you're using clothes that you purchased on Amazon, if you're using camera equipment that you're filming your videos with, the equipment you're using on your videos, these are all things that you can put affiliate links in the description of your video. People will click through and buy it. It happens to me all the time. And again, it's a fraction of the income I make, like I would say 5% if that, but it is something. And again, it's something that's worth exploring because you don't have to do anything other than add these affiliate links into your descriptions every time you post a video, and they'll just kind of trickle some money in for you. So another one that can be good is Teespring. The unfortunate thing with Teespring is you need 10,000 subscribers in order to be able to put a store implemented into your YouTube channel, but you can start a Teespring store anytime you want and just promote it through your through your description on your videos. And the thing I always recommend with Teespring is come up with some creative ideas. You know, if I created a t-shirt and called it Regan's Fitness, that may not be overly exciting for somebody to want to buy. Yes, my mom might buy it or my mother-in-law might buy it to support me, but we want to create something that's cool, that people want to buy, that doesn't necessarily have to be branding us. This is about making money, not, because to me it's a whole different scenario. If I'm promoting my gym, like a physical gym, yes, I would love to sell clothing with my brand on it and have people walk around my hometown wearing that clothing. You're dealing with the entire planet now. So if I'm in Toronto and somebody in Los Angeles wants to buy a t-shirt off me, it makes very little difference whether or not that's got my brand name on it. So I just want to sell something that they think is cool. And if there's a way that I can infuse my logo or my brand down there, that's great. But don't obsess over that. Come up with compelling logos. Teespring is very cool. Check it out. And it's a pretty good source of affiliate income if you get creative with your content. And you can do more than just clothes. You can do coffee mugs. You can do all sorts of stuff. Another big one is promo code marketing. A lot of companies do this. You can reach out to these companies, presenting yourself as a micro-influencer. This would require having a good email template so that you're approaching them professionally, letting them know that I have a small channel, it's growing. If they were to check out your channel, they're able to see that it's a good quality channel, and just you're not asking them for a dime. You're saying, I want to promote your products. They'll offer you a promo code. If somebody goes and uses your promo code, they save 10%, you get a small commission. Lots of companies do that. Another great way to make some extra money and go from there. All right, so now we're moving into number 6, which is collaborations. But just before I do that, I think one of the things that's very important here is to understand the perspective on this and how this money starts to add up. Sometimes, you know, you're throwing out all these ideas and it sounds great on paper, but it's like, in reality, that's never gonna happen. So like we were just kind of talking about, you know, we're hoping by about that, 3 to 4 month mark, we're at about 150 subscribers. And that's when we start adding some of these, products and services and things like that. And as I'd mentioned, one of the main ones could potentially be one-on-one online training or physical training, depending on how you're putting your brand out there and what your end game is. When I do the numbers on this, I actually use very modest numbers. At 150 subscribers, if you were to convert 2% of that audience into one-on-one clients, which is very reasonable, that could be potentially, I know people that are doing the one-on-one training for as little as $199 a month, upwards of $400 a month. So even on the lower scale of $200 a month for a one-to-one relationship where you're really working with them on an ongoing basis. 3 conversions out of 150 is $600 a month. Add to that little products and services. Maybe you're selling, 5 programs that's showing how to use the different workouts on the channel in sequence, nutrition programs, little things like that. That will be little bits of bonus money that comes in, but we'll focus for now on this main one. $600 a month, you can't really make a living off that. If your strategy is sound, and if you reverse engineer this properly, where you're trying to lead your community to become online customers, where they're working with you, what do you think is going to happen when you get to 1,000 subscribers? Which this is designed for you to be hitting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time by 12 months in, 1 year. Very possible, very doable. I know because I have done it. At 1,000 subscribers and a 2% conversion, you now have 20 online clients. That's $4,000 a month. At 1,500, you've now got 30 clients. That's $6,000 a month. What do you think is going to happen by the time you get to 10,000 subscribers? That is what we're doing here. This is not about getting millions of views on your videos and getting pennies on the dollar from Google AdSense. That money is great. When I see my Google income come in every month, I'm super happy. I love it. It's not why I'm here. And it's not why you should be there. If your goal is, I want to be my own brand, do my own thing, YouTube is going to be the platform I use to get there. And if you plan in advance, Imagine at 1,500 making $6,000 per month in online clients with 30 clients. And that way you'd be quite busy at that. So I mean, just an example, you may not want that many per month, I don't know. But then on top of that, of course, your programs go up. New products and services emerge that you come up with. Your Google AdSense has kicked in. All these things accumulated, affiliate marketing, t-shirt sales. Now it's like 6, 7, 8, 9. That's when it starts to grow, and that's why I can say, quite honestly, that $100,000 a year, once you're getting into this and getting moving, is not that hard to do at all. And you're doing something that you love, and you're doing it on your own terms. So, wanted to mention that before we go farther. Number 6, collaborations. So for me personally, when it comes to personal training and stuff like that, I like to stay in my lane. There are things when it comes to fitness that I am very, very, very good at. There are things when it comes to fitness that I am not good at all. And I don't like to pretend that I am. And I think people in 2021 can see through that very quickly. But that's where collaborations come in. Even in those early stages, 150, 200 subscribers, when you start to find people that are in that same category, they're just starting to grow, they're relatively new, but they have similar beliefs to you. There's so many things you can do. Collaborating with a 30-day challenge with another channel. What you've just done is now you're tapping into someone else's clientele. They could have 250 completely different people than you do, or 150 or whatever it is. And you can pull together, you're producing double the quantity of videos. If they're doing a couple videos a week and you're doing a couple videos a week and you're working in conjunction to create this epic 30-day program, you're both supporting one another. And the end game is more subscribers and more views on your channel. And again, that's gonna add to your watch time, which is gonna amp you up and get you monetized by Google much quicker. Beyond just doing that, and those kind of collaborations you can do all the time. I don't believe in doing collaborations if you don't think it's a benefit to you or your community. Find people like-minded. Find people that have a diverse skill set. Maybe you bring in a kettlebell specialist for a month and little things like that, but you support one another and you grow together. There's no such thing as competition on YouTube when it comes to that sort of thing. I promote my clients' channels all the time on my own channel. I have very little concern of people unsubscribing from me and going over to them, because they can subscribe to both if they want, and typically they're very different offerings. So that's one way to collaborate. Another way is getting involved with people like nutritionists. Having somebody come in, and whether it be a live stream where you're talking to a really good nutritionist, the benefit for that nutritionist, if they have any sense at all, is that they're getting in front of 150, 250. I keep using the 150 subscribers only because that's potentially where we're at, with those early months of building the channel. That's 150 leads for that nutritionist. If they get 1 or 2 clients out of that for their services, they've made money. Well worth it. Not to mention the fact that you're creating, if you're doing, say, a live stream with them or something, you're creating content that they can repurpose for their own social media. If they do that, you're capitalizing on their traffic again, another bonus for you. So and then your clients are seeing even more perceived value in your channel because you're having these special guests come on in whatever capacity, whether it's products or services or actually being in your videos and offering sound advice. You're showing that you're bringing in the right people to give them the right advice. You're not trying to be the jack of all trades, giving them all the different advice and making yourself the star of the show. Very powerful, very good for branding, very good for additional traffic because, I don't care how big a nutritionist is. It's good exposure for them. If your content is of good quality, that's good for them. They can use that as well. It makes them feel like a big shot. Lots of pluses to this, few negatives that I can think of. Physiotherapists. Maybe you want to do some tutorial videos on, rehabbing a knee injury or rehabbing an arm injury or all those kind of things. Having somebody come into your space and kind of offer their feedback on it. Same thing again. If your video production is relatively nice and clean, it's cool for them. It's exposure for them. It's potential for clients for them. Everybody in 2021 is looking for some form of exposure and growth online, and you putting that person on a pedestal and wanting their expertise on your channel, no matter how large or small, is not a bad thing for them. That's not to say everyone's gonna go for this, but you just keep reaching out to people until you find someone who will. Not at the sacrifice of ethics or quality, like find good people, but collaborations are very powerful. They're a fast track to growth. And again, it makes your brand look very, very polished and strong. So now we're at number 7, which is Google income. So we're fast forwarding a few months here. Now we're at about the 12-month mark of our channel in terms of putting this information to use. Doing it in less than 12 months is very possible, but to be reasonable, we're gonna say 1 year to get what we need, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And that's, as I said, in a 365-day span. Once you have that, lots of good stuff happens. The Google Community tab opens up, which allows you to communicate a lot easier with your clients and with your subscribers. You can do polls, you can ask them questions, you can post when you've got a new workout up and it'll come up on their phone a little bit easier on that YouTube app. So a lot of great things there. The big one, of course, is getting monetized. Now you're able to actually make money off your videos. And this goes back to every video you've done. So one thing I always recommend is very important to design your videos from day one so that when that day of monetization hits, you're running strong. What I mean by that is you may like to do a video that's 20 exercises, no repeats, no breaks, intense, blah, blah, blah. Could be a great workout, probably is a great workout. I make about 18 times more per video than a lot of people on YouTube. How that works, there's 2 main things that I do here, and this is kind of important. Number 1 is I choreograph my workouts in a round system. I usually do about 7 exercises per round, and then I'll do a 1-minute rest, and then I'll do round 2, rest, round 3. What that does, those 1-minute rests in between rounds is open space where I'm able to actually insert advertisements. The hard thing with fitness videos is that when you do mid-roll ads, is what it's called, it's hard to do that in a fitness video because it's very intrusive. If somebody's in the middle of a workout and they're exercising, you don't want an ad to pop up in the middle of a set. It doesn't make for a pleasant experience. What I'm able to do once I'm monetized is I can manually move, I can put ads wherever I want. I've got control over that. I can put ads at the start, I can put ads at the end, I can put ads during these rest breaks. And so most of my videos where a lot of people will have an ad at the start and the end, I've got ads all throughout the middle during the rest breaks, which equates to about 7 or 8 ads per video that are included. And they're not done in an intrusive way. They don't mess up the workout. The person is typically quite gassed and tired during those rest breaks. So if a little skippable ad pops up for 5 seconds, they're not too worried about that. I've never had a complaint from it. And as I said, 8 ads versus 2 ads is 6 times the income with every single video that goes up. And I also like sticking to the 3-round system because it's familiarity. And a lot of the people just like that they know when they go to my channel that my workouts are different all the time, but the structure is usually relatively the same and they can kind of follow the rhythm, which when you're dealing with people at the beginner intermediate level is important. So that's one thing. The other thing to keep in mind is your CPM. You can look this up in your YouTube analytics. CPM stands for cost per mil, and it's the amount of money that YouTube pays you per 1,000 views on your video. On average, most people will get $5 to $6 per 1,000 views. To put it in a comparison, I have videos on my channel that are getting upwards of $37, $38 per 1,000 views. How I did this was basically by reversing Google Ads, reverse engineering it, and going in, finding the keywords that advertisers are paying top dollar for, utilizing those keywords in my key tags in my videos so that when people are using those key tags for their advertising of their products or services on whatever YouTube ads are coming up, the YouTube algorithm says, well, this channel has those same key tags. these two are meant to be together, and those ads pop up on my channel, which gets me more money. I've done more detailed videos on this in the past. It's a little more complex to get into than what we can do right here. But again, it's a great way to go from $5, $6 per 1,000 views upwards to $20, $30, $40 CPM rates, which is much higher. So again, 7 ads at $38 per 1,000 views versus 2 ads at $5 or $6 per 1,000 views. You can do the math on that and see that it adds up over time as you grow. So that brings us to number 8, which is brand sponsorships. This is the big one for me, and this is the one that I get excited for you guys about. With products and services, there can be a very good amount of money that can come from that, as we've discussed. But the trade-off is your time. If you are able to convert 2% of your subscribers into one-on-one clients, whether that be in the physical form or online, you're still required to work with them. And it's on a personal level, and it could be Zoom calls, it could be physical trips to the gym, but it does require your time. This does not require your time. This is you basically reaping the benefits of a proper, polished, professional YouTube presence that you've set up. And it doesn't require a lot of subscribers, as most people would think you would need. We'll say at this point we're at that 1,500 to 2,000 subscriber limit. Most brands, particularly in the super vain fitness genre, do not see that as a lot of people. I think that's unfortunate that they still think 100,000 fake followers is better than 2,500 real ones, but that's the nature of the beast that we are involved with, so we'll deal with that. That's not something you're going to accentuate here. When it comes to reaching out to these companies, and I will sidetrack here and mention that yes, you will reach out to these companies. The ones that are going to come to you are not the ones you want to work with. There is no money in the ones that come to you, especially at this stage. If anybody approaches you at this stage of the game, it's going to be those situations where they're, hey, we've got weight loss gummies that we want to send you a free bottle, and for a free bottle, we want you to do a 5-minute video review and tell everyone how awesome it is. Don't take those because if it doesn't mesh with your brand and what you've put together, don't do it. Don't sell out. Always offer value to your clientele. Don't sell out for the sake of a free bottle of weight loss gummies or whatever. I'm not picking on weight loss gummies, whatever that may be. You want to deal with quality products, not crap. At this point, your subscribers have invested in you, and don't take that lightly. I think that's an important thing, and anything you recommend to them, make sure it's something that's quality. So you're going to be reaching out to companies that you want to work with. Doesn't always have to be related to fitness. I had a sponsorship from a company that was based on actual decor for the loft that I work out of, and they got exposure that way. So you can think outside the box. There's all kinds of things that you can do. It doesn't always have to be fitness. But we'll say for now, we're going to talk about fitness. You're going to create a media kit. You're going to accentuate all the positives of your brand. How polished it is, how well produced your videos are, all that sort of stuff. They may not see value in your clientele, but you can still show them that your channel has a very strong growth trajectory. You have an average watch time of, let's say, 13 minutes, we'll say, all these high things where you're able to show them that I've got these people's attention for long periods of time. I can really showcase your product well. I can infuse it seamlessly into my workouts because I believe in your product and I think it's a great fit for what I'm doing. Most importantly to them at this stage where you're lower on subscribers is the quality of your content. If your content is well produced, and I don't mean professional, I mean smartphone, nice consumer grade camera, whatever, good lighting, like everything's fairly clean and nice, it costs these companies thousands and thousands of dollars to produce content for social media every month. I know this because I worked for one, as we've discussed. You show up and offer them all these videos where you're going to make their product kind of the brand sponsor of these videos and these workouts, and if you yourself kind of fit their core audience of the people they're trying to reach out to and you fit the bill, I mean, there's a lot of things happening there that they're going to appreciate. And they may look at the value as like, okay, let's give her or him $1,000 a month. He's going to showcase our products in his videos. He's going to work with us. He's going to allow us a little bit of creative, to give some pointers on things that they want. He's willing to work and help. And then they're able to take that content, and even if they don't care about your 2,000 or 2,500 subscribers, they can repurpose that on their own social media, and they're saving thousands of dollars because you're giving them nice, clean, good quality stuff that caters to their audience as well, because you are their audience. So that's where the value comes in, and it's how you pitch it. So you create a media kit. We're not going to get into details about media kits just because of time constraints, but it's a professional way to, when you reach out to them, you email this person, you can put together an email template, but you are going to personalize it enough so that they don't think it's a template. You attach your media kit, you introduce yourself, and you basically make them an offer. Something I've also recommended at times, and this is to your own discretion, is offering to do it for free. Seems kind of counterproductive, but when you think about the fact that maybe they just don't have the marketing budget right now to bring on new ambassadors, but they like what you're doing, you can offer, well, would you like it if I did it for a couple months for free? All I would ask is maybe in 2-3 months time that you consider speaking with me if you're happy with what I've done for you. They may take you up on that. They'd be foolish not to. Where you're not getting paid in terms of money, you may be getting paid handsomely in terms of exposure. If this is a supplement company that has 300,000 followers on social media and they're sharing your content and tagging you in it, then suddenly that is people clicking through to check out your channel. And hopefully some of them convert into subscribers, which you can convert into one-on-one clients, and the circle continues. So there is value there. Be careful with it. You don't want to be taken advantage of. So it's always good to keep the conversation open-ended so that it's something that can be discussed. If they decide they don't want to work with you regardless, again, you decide then, do you want to do another month or two for free? It's just, you're building a relationship with these companies, and you reach out to as many companies as you can think of. I personally think it's a good idea to keep within companies that gel with your brand, that gel, whatever your age is, whatever your sex is, all those little things that you become valuable to them in terms of your content, your look, the fact that you might be relatable to their audience, all of those little things. It's only going to make for a stronger relationship and potential that you can help them move the needle a little bit, which will keep them wanting to keep you on. So that's basically how you deal with that, how you reach out. Again, you're playing the odds, you're reaching out to 250, 300 companies, hoping for maybe 5-10% will respond, and out of that, maybe 2 or 3 will become sponsors of your channel, elevating your income that much more. So that is it, guys. That is your 8 points in terms of from onset starting a channel to getting it monetized and making a living off of it. You're looking at a 12 to 18 month commitment. This is not a get rich quick thing. This is something that requires your attention. It requires you improving skill sets, but it is so rewarding if you get there, because what happens is you will make more money as a fitness content creator than you may have ever deemed imaginable. It's just a matter of strategizing from the onset and building it backwards. Understanding who you are, understanding where you want to go, back it up, start from scratch, head in that direction. So once again, I think it is worth mentioning that these numbers add up very quickly. At 1,000 subscribers, if you can convert 2%, 2% is not an outlandish number to throw out there. This is very conservative numbers. And 2% is 20 online one-on-one clients or physical clients. At $200 a month, which is a lower end of those payments, that's $4,000 a month. At 1,000 subscribers, you may be looking at, $150, $200 in Google ad revenue a month. You might be looking at about $100 in Amazon affiliate income a month, depending on what it is you're able to attach to your videos. You start throwing in a couple t-shirts in there from Teespring and all these little things, and suddenly it's like at 1,000 subscribers, I've got $5,000 coming in every single month, and that's before brand sponsorships. Now the brand sponsorships at those early stages, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's an uphill battle. It requires a lot of persistence and a lot of convincing because, again, particularly in health and fitness, they tend to always look at the numbers. They don't as much look at the money you could be saving them and all that sort of stuff. So you have to have a very polished media kit that they can read about it, they can understand it on their own time, and you give them that perceived value. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. But the nice thing is I can speak from experience on this. I'm on YouTube. I've got 2 channels. Those channels both make money. And this is not my full-time gig right now. I still run an agency 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I still deal with clients in person outside of the fitness industry. So if I can do this on the side and build it up to this kind of an income, imagine what you can do putting a good full-time effort into this. Not to say you're gonna do that right away, but I do feel that within 6 months, you can be bringing in enough money that you could be very strongly lean towards there, using this as a funnel to create clients for yourself, in addition to all the little extras you'll get through all those little extra things. So on that note, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch it. Hopefully you did pick up some tips from it. But if there's anything that confuses you or that you have further questions on, don't ever hesitate to reach out. I can be found through email. I can be found through Google. I can be found on YouTube, Fitness Marketing Hub. I look forward to possibly connecting with some of you, and best of luck with your channels. And most certainly, if you have a channel, let me know where it is and I will subscribe. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of Fitposium.